All right, everyone, we are back with the next episode of the Raiders Rambles. I am Jolt, chief host of the show, and joining me as always is none other than my co-host Avira.
Hey everyone, welcome back. Happy Friday, and hope everyone's having a fantastic day.
As it should be.
Yeah.
And joining us as always is our interim host, Noble.
And it's the morning again. A lot earlier today, though. Yay!
You know, every single morning I've seen the sun don't shine until 7 o'clock. Does that feel early to you?
Yeah, I'm usually deep at work by the time the sun decides to rear its ugly head, if at all. Yay for overcast weather lately!
Oh goodness.
Yeah, I've been getting a lot of that the past weeks. Had 3 days of rain in a row. Not flooded, but rainy. But that's, it's fun. It's crazy shit. Anyway, first things first, I do want to apologize for that. I've been out of the seat for like a good while actually. And as you probably know, last week it was my birthday.
Yay!
I know this is the part where all the streamers and confetti start showering down on me. But no, it was me who was actually just doing the whole out of the sky routine.
Yeah, Jolt. So you literally became a flying squirrel again by jumping out of a freaking airplane, you mad lad.
I know. I mean, it wasn't. It was not something I would ever imagine I would ever do. Full stop. I was just like, we just kind of had this conversation with the people at work, and they brought up the idea. You want to do skydiving because we had like in at work we have 3 birthdays in a span of 7 days.
Oh jeez. Yeah, okay, so you gotta do something crazy.
Yeah, and then we kind of had this conversation, and it's like, we want to go skydiving, and I was like, okay,
That's it, just without a second thought? You're just like, sure, why not?
yeah. I was like, okay, sure. Then let's talk this through and see, give it a bit of time and see if anybody wants to back out. And I was like, what? And I guess the closer it got to it, I was like, yeah, I'm in.
Oh dude.
I know. But I can tell you straight up, if you haven't jumped, the visceralness of when you of the free fall, words on paper don't do it any justice.
I can't even imagine explaining that either. I mean, it's like that must be totally bonkers, dude. See, I don't know if I'd be able to do that. Like, I know it's probably safe and everything, but something just tells me that jumping out of a perfectly safe airplane it seems wrong somehow.
I don't know. If you actually looked at my plane, it looked a bit Rick. It looked a bit how you doing.
Yeah, poor
Didn't
thing.
even didn't even have a full closed door.
And I
The
had like,
runway overcrowded.
yeah, but hey, you did it, man. You literally flew above the clouds and like jumped into them. I mean, that is, oh man. And to do that like for a birthday celebration, that is insane, man.
Don't they call that adrenaline junkie?
That's true. That would be make you an adrenaline junkie. Now then, next thing on next birthday, I'm gonna have to find something to get my adrenaline fixed, won't I?
I mean, if jumping out of a plane doesn't do it, I don't know what else will. So,
Yeah, it's hard to top that.
right? Like, what more?
Yeah, what's the next adventure going to be? Right? But
Uh,
yeah, but if you really haven't jumped, I actually do want to say, yeah, just do it.
good advice.
Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong. I actually did go into it coming in as a whole. This may be the only chance I will ever get in my life to do it. So, hey ho.
Cool.
I mean, if nothing else, I actually did want to get back on the plane the moment I jumped in because I was like, literally, I did a half a front flip sort of plan, and I'm like, get me back on that thing.
Oh no. Yeah, it was like that moment of realization, like, oh, okay, I'm falling now. And yeah, you literally tumbled, what, like 2.5 times or something? Like, jeez.
No, I was like a 1.5 front flips with a couple of spins.
Yeah.
Nah, all good though.
But the descent looked, pretty nice, pretty slow and calming and whatnot.
Yeah, but once you hit the parachute, like, boof.
Oh, it just throws you back?
Yeah, a bit. Throws you back, and then, yeah. Up in the clouds, just bam.
Oh yeah, when you fell through the clouds, was it wet at all? Like, was it different feeling than the normal air?
Yeah, like, it's so funny because up there, like, you can see the sun when you get high up enough, but no. On the ground, like, close to the ground, no. It's all wet. It's all drab. And the clouds have blocked the sun.
Wow, like that scene in The Matrix where he's flying to Machine City and they go to the clouds and stuff. I don't know if you ever saw that movie, but
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's just kind of what it was. So again, good stuff. I do want to say that it is natural evolution that I'm flying squirrel.
yeah, it started with the hot air balloon.
Yeah, next thing you know, one day I'll probably get my wings proper.
Oh, you should try hang gliding. I've always wanted to do that. Yeah, that looks really fun.
Yes. All
I
right.
don't know if okay, yeah, well, I think we're good.
Yeah, 100%. All right. So I would say it's time we got to what's on the show today. So there's been quite a lot of things happening now. Have any of you guys, even show of hands, comments, whatever have you, who's managed to see the premiere for Lackadaisy?
I have.
Yep.
hmm And what do you guys think of it?
Well, I just saw it yesterday, and my friend just sent me a link to it. I had no idea what it was, and I don't know how long this has been in the works for. But when I first saw it, my first thoughts was that it was like a short film because it was animated so like professionally, and the
Yeah.
voice acting as well was also it sounded very professional. I didn't recognize any of the names behind it, but I really liked it overall.
Mm.
So for that, Avira, South Park went from using highly expensive equipment to produce their episodes down to off-the-shelf, software that anyone can get their hands on for the most part. So for me, when I saw the quality of this and then finding out this was done by people, at home, it wasn't really that much of a shock. You just have to sit down and actually do it. The tools that everyone needs, like drawing tablets, the software, you can even use free software for this now. So it's not really a surprise. I do like a little touch they included where you can see the actual trace lines that they used initially to draw the characters and included that. I thought that was a really nice take. Although that cat that did that whole sing-along thing at the beginning just seemed a bit... I'm not really liking that character trope, to be honest.
Hmm.
I mean, it's kind of a well-known fact. You and musicals can never ever get along.
Well, the show wasn't a musical, so that's... If the show was a musical, I would have turned it off, but someone singing the way they were in that's fine. I mean, you'd expect that to happen in real life, even when someone wants to, bust out a tune. It's just when everyone starts singing and dancing like that one episode of Buffy the Vampire Slayer is when I go, nah.
Oh, come on. That was a great episode. Once More with Feeling, that was great. But no, I mean, for the setting, of the time period that they're going for with this whole story, it kind of made sense. Like, I love the whole jazzy theme to it. It's really like funky. The music was great too, in my opinion.
I love that bartender kitty. That was good.
Oh yeah. I was surprised. I mean, I guess you said anyone can do this, but honestly, like it was impressive because I haven't really seen like independent projects. I mean, like this good before. I mean, I have, but like this was really good. You know, it's kind of like when Vivzy Pop first came out. You know,
Yeah,
like
Vizzy
that
Pop's
that
pretty
kind of.
much. I believe Vizzy Pop's pretty much started something that a lot of the companies out there now who handle media are probably going to be freaking the fuck out over, because if you all you have to do is get a bunch of qualified people together and they can go make their own animated show. I mean, they could even film it even if they wanted to. And Patreon and a couple of other services out there will actually help them obtain the funds to be able to do the show or the
Oh yeah,
movie.
and fans of that type of content that really want to see something created, like dedicated fans are dedicated. Like you'd be surprised how many indie projects like even get off the ground. That's
Oh
that's
hell yeah!
really good too. I've never even heard of Lackadaisy before. Like this is the first time I'm hearing about it. It was number 4 on trending yesterday. I was like, what the heck? Like
I'd
it
seen
really
something
spread.
like this released previously for the actual show, but it was like a short little stint of it. So I was aware that it was upcoming, and I thought, yeah, it'll be fun to check out when it's done.
Hmm. Oh yeah, like a teaser or something. I don't even remember seeing a teaser for it. I
So
don't think we.
overall,
No?
this was way more watchable than anything Disney puts out in today's world. I mean,
Oh,
shit.
it's just
It's
a little
almost
bit more, a little more violent too. Just a little bit.
it's almost on par with what you get from DreamWorks.
Actually,
Oh, hang
yeah.
on, no, I lied. Sorry.
Wait,
Luca.
DreamWorks?
Yeah, DreamWorks. DreamWorks are
Yeah.
doing some. DreamWorks are doing similar styled. I'm not going to say animation, but similar styled storytelling. That's what I got from watching this. If someone slapped DreamWorks label on this and put a bunch of credits making it seem as it came from DreamWorks, I'd believe it.
Yeah. I'm just surprised. Like, I haven't even. I don't know anyone behind this. Like, all these voice actors, like, they sound like legit professionals. Like, it was really good.
The
But
amount of
I've never.
people
I
that
don't
are on
know.
the internet, you'll be amazed. You can not even in the furry community, there are people who've probably never even heard of us or only heard of us in passing.
Mm.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
Uh,
another thing about the furry community. This Lackadaisy thing, that's about like cats and like anthropomorphic animals and stuff. All dogs go to heaven wasn't violent. Okay, it was. It was also really sad.
yeah, we're talking stuff in the last like what 10
Couple
years for
decades,
Disney.
yeah.
I
Now,
mean,
but
Luca was good, but yeah, that's far few between. I would take this show and put it in the same bucket as a good entertainment to watch as Luca.
Hmm.
Also, I think it's only actually anthropomorphic cats and not anything else.
Yeah, I wasn't sure exactly. I mean, I wasn't sure if one of them was a fox or not. It kind of looked like it, but I couldn't really tell. Maybe you're right. Maybe they're all cats.
I do know something that people may take a bit of a pissy towards, and that there's a whole bunch of unanswered things in the pilot episode. I've had to deal with this myself in the past, and I'm sitting there thinking, hang on, this is an introductory to the show. It's supposed to leave you with questions. It's supposed to draw you back and watch it more. Having stuff like that, for instance, that black cat, makes sense because it gives you a reason to come back and find out and discover exactly what the history is.
Hmm. Yeah, I mean, I want to know more about these characters too. I mean, yeah, like they're oh my god, some of them are just so bonkers. Like they're really entertaining to watch. Like if you guys haven't seen Like a Daisy yet, man, check it out. It's it's pretty wild. But yeah, I definitely see it being something like a studio would put out, and it's just I don't know. I was pretty impressed by this. So I bet now because it's just the pilot, yeah, you're gonna see a lot more independent. I guess like mm, all the fans are going to be promoting this a lot more. Like it's going to get more attention now that it's already this viral, and they're probably going to get a lot more funding, and hopefully it continues to be this good. Because
I'm just,
you know, I don't know.
I'm hoping the you know, behind the scenes they don't go woke and just completely destroy the whole thing, because this is something good. And it would be nice for other people to get the idea that if they want to tell, an actual story and not go down propaganda sort of route, that there is money to be made, there is fame to be had. Just don't get it in over your head and pull some of the well, let's just say things that people famous have been doing lately. Some people.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like that's the road they're going to go down. Now, whoever's behind this project, it seems like they're very passionate. You know, they want to tell a story, and yeah, they also don't pull back any punches either. I mean, it's pretty. It can get pretty crazy
It's more,
sometimes.
yeah, it's really more true to the to the atmosphere and the setting.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of it is cartoon violence mixed with like intense situations. I don't know.
It's almost like they took South Park's playbook and ran with it.
Well, what you said about South Park, the reason it was so expensive at first was because they were like, it was stop motion animation. They were using actual cutouts of like paper, and that took laborious hours to do. And but it was an interesting style. But they still kept it even though they went to Flash.
Oh yeah, keeping that style was absolutely perfect. What
Yeah.
South Park did, and this is important, is they kept the core characters as they always have been. However, when they've introduced new characters, they've updated those styles. So for someone who's coming into South Park, say for instance this year, and haven't seen any of it before, it's going to be really confusing. But if you watched it from, the first episode all the way up, it sort of molds itself together.
Wow, that's something I have never thought about. Oh, that's weird. Now I have to go look back and watch some episodes and whoa, that's a what? Is that really? That's crazy.
Go to the baby.
Wow. Okay, I did not realize that. Very cool. I don't think that's the route they're going to go down. It seems like they got a pretty good style like set for the show, and again, this is going to be this is like an animated series. I thought this was just like a short film. So if they keep up, this quality and stuff, I think it's going to be pretty good. I'm already like, I love it so far. In case you couldn't tell.
I mean, I can tell this is going to be an animated series too. Pilot, like first episode. So there's more to come.
Mm-hmm.
Now, speaking of other things with Lackadaisy, what did you think about the aesthetic and the art style?
Well, I thought it was pretty unique actually. Like the way they used like the lighting, it made things pop more, but it still had a very cartoony kind of feel to it. It almost looked like they used pastel color like art style, and it wasn't like washed out or anything, but a lot of the monochromatic backgrounds, it set the mood really well, especially like with the funky music they had going on and all the chase scenes or whatever. I think they handled the music and the artistic style pretty well, especially like for the time period. It was set in what, like 1927, I think.
Yeah. Prohibition era America.
Yep. Yeah, I think they nailed it.
Oh, absolutely. You had that whole what's it called? What you would call the film noir sort of thing.
Oh yeah, but in color.
Yeah, not to mention the whole. Yeah, and everything else was like aesthetically, thematically appropriate. Like costume design, like the character design also seemed to really have fit. Yes, I know the teeth and all that are exaggerated, but still.
Oh well, yeah. But even like the vehicles they were driving and like even the way the city looked, I'm like, wow, they really, this is pretty cool. But are they all cats? So I wasn't quite sure.
What I've gotten from it is that they are, in fact, sort of like a cat universe, if you want to call it that.
Still. Nah, but it's great though. Like this is this kind of sort of thing that just makes me want to go and to get my fix of something like that. Go and play the Mafia games.
Yeah, it's an interesting time period they chose too, like during Prohibition, and okay, sure. Like I haven't seen many cartoons dealing with that, so that could be interesting.
No, but it's always something that's very really people do come back to. So yeah, but again, I was also really, really pleasantly surprised with how everything was just all put together. The animation quality, just the feel of it.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I've never even heard of it before, and now it's like it was number 4 on trending, which is pretty crazy. But I wonder how long it's been in the works for. Like, Noble, do you remember how long ago that teaser was? Was it like a year or so?
maybe about 6 months when I came across it. But to be honest with you, I'm just happy that there's at least something competent out there to be able to watch every now and then when it's
Not to
released.
mention, this was
True.
if this was an independent production that's not behested of big name studios, then be ups to them.
Yeah, only if studios learned that maybe if they just simply throw money at creators that create good content and only put out a list of saying, you can't do A, B, C, and D.
I
I mean, it's
think
like
I
the list
also.
for radio where they can't say certain words. It's like,
Mhm.
fine, but, don't force certain subject materials or
Yeah.
certain plot points or storylines on a bloody artist just because you're forking money at it. I mean, you want to make more money, then, let them do their thing.
Another point I do want to mention is that this is actually very refreshing because we're basically now surrounded in an ocean full of live action productions. Yeah. Traditional animation going the way of the dodo? Nuh-uh. You ain't no shit.
Well, this wasn't traditionally animated, right? I mean, it was still done by a computer program, probably.
I mean, of course, but it
Yeah,
does have more of that more hand, the hand-drawn feel.
yeah, like I
More
was
the
saying with the painted backgrounds, almost.
yes,
That's
like
what it kind of looked like.
it looked more old-fashioned compared, yeah, in comparison.
Yeah, I thought it was pretty damn cool. I love this comment from Boombox. He goes, prohibition, where kids worked, drank, and smoked. That's correct.
How many
11
kids
years
have been
old, living
drinking
in the
alcohol
coal
for-
mines. What?
Kids have been drinking alcohol for like hundreds of thousands of years. It's just back then it was a little oh no, prohibition it would have been more proper sort of modern alcohol and not like what it would have been prior to modern civilization.
Oh, if you think kids smoking out here common, get on my level. Us ethnics will show you how it's done. Seriously.
Joel, in my state, there are a lot of kids that smoke. A lot of kids that do it.
Really?
Vaping's the new craze nowadays too.
Yeah,
Oh,
I know.
that's
But if you want the
unfortunate.
old-fashioned way, nothing beats going back to where I'm from and getting cigarettes from the cheap.
I got verbally abused by some bogan prick because I refused to give his son C's, and I'm like, I don't even fucking smoke, you twat. Oh,
Hey,
you should go smoke then. Give some to your brother. And I'm like, oh, what the fuck is wrong with you? Seriously.
man, some people really get crazy on them nicotine rages.
Oh hell yeah.
I know.
But then
I'm
again, it's
surrounded by
also
smokers
drugs here.
too.
Man,
Yeah.
smoking is bad though. Don't do it.
No, don't smoke. But yeah. It's awesome stuff. I actually look forward to seeing what they come up with next on Lackadaisy. So
Yeah. 'Cause
yeah,
at
keep your
first,
eyes.
spoiler, when they were digging a grave, it wasn't actually a grave. It was like they were doing another mission, and that totally threw me off guard because it took a lot of twists and turns too. And yeah, it was a great pilot episode, to be honest.
Mm-hmm. All right, now got some more other items to cover through, and so we've hit the point where it's another day and something's just kind of finished. Yes, I'm talking about E3, which they should have said when it said it was dead. It should have stayed dead all those years ago.
E3 Now Dead was a show for a bygone game industry. Oh, that sounds apocalyptic, like of a bygone era.
I mean, let's be real here. The game industry is being is still a bit how you doing. Like creative bankruptcy is hitting, and people would just rather remaster and upgrade to the next, upgrade their existing games to the next generations, and milk the ever loving bejesus out of their stuff for as long as they can.
Pretty much, yeah. I mean, I'm thinking like VR is probably like the future of gaming. Like that's really the next step of like where this goes. Anyways,
But
so
yeah,
this
and
is
even now, the expo, like it's been struggling since 2019, and then COVID hit. Yeah, and then we all know what happened.
Yeah, well, they had to cancel it. I think the first two times they canceled it was because of coronavirus, like safety, which is
Yeah.
understandable because everything closed during that time. But this year, why are they saying that? I think it's because there's not a lot of interest in it, to be honest. Like a lot of the
Not
big players aren't even really doing this
yeah.
show.
And not the console makers aren't there, and now even the game publishers, Ubisoft and Sega, are like, nah, they're not going into as well. Like, economics have changed, digital marketing, live streaming, COVID-related game developments,
Mm.
timelines, and have all, yeah,
For a while, I've seen E3 just sort of limping along with fewer and fewer players sort of going to it. And then when the whole SARS thing sort of hit, it just seemed to like bowl it over. I mean, honestly, it's a real shame that an event like this is being, shit canned. But eh,
hmm
So when it says its debut was in 1995. Wow.
yeah. And back then, like, games industry was still just a very fledgling thing. You had the Super Nintendo at the time and what have you, and the
Yeah, the
PlayStation wasn't
PlayStation.
even out. The PlayStation wasn't even out until like the late '90s. So,
Wow.
and now it's like it's all kind of gone and changed. Now it's
Is this a picture from E3?
yeah.
Wow. See, that looks like a really crazy packed place. Like, I wonder if they were just like losing money, or is it really just because like the big players aren't really interested in it
Yeah, I mean the big
anymore?
players aren't interested in it anymore now. And then it was, it was basically the big place where every single console will happen. Microsoft, Sony One, Xbox One, Microsoft One, and all that.
Yeah,
Like
Nintendo
yeah.
trying to outdo
got
one
dragged
another.
through the mud.
Yeah,
But is there going to be another thing like this? Do you think in the future?
something like E3. I
Maybe.
doubt that would be the case. I
Hmm.
mean, what passes for game events now? Of course, we'd have things like Gamescom and Penny Arcade, like PAX.
Oh, right, right.
And these days too, like now, they might kind of do the whole occasional merge in with things like San Diego Comic Con and what have you.
Hmm.
So
Yeah, I guess that could work. Also, like, what kind of console wars are going on right now? Like, really, not much.
not
I mean,
even any anymore.
not right. Like,
It's
I mean,
now Microsoft is being all buddy with Nintendo and Sega and everyone else.
What's happening now? And if anyone hasn't been paying attention, Sony, Microsoft, basically the two main major players out there. And instead of going at its throats with whatever saber they can pull out and try to kill each other with, they've just decided to get into bed with one another and share. Nintendo, uh, they're not irrelevant, but Nintendo's going down its own path with how it wants to do things, as it always has.
hmm
And for what it is, Nintendo's doing great. But that's the
Yeah.
thing. There's no the idea of competition now in the gaming industry doesn't exist. It's you either want to play like the Nintendo childish games and sometimes the adult brutal murdering that you find on like Xbox and PlayStation, or you want to do both, or you want to do just the Xbox and PlayStation shit. There's like no difference at this point.
Mm. All right.
It's
One
going to get
second.
to a point where you buy a license for a game and you can play it on whatever console. I'm assuming that's going to happen in the next generation with gaming consoles between
Mm.
Sony and Microsoft, because literally it doesn't matter. The console itself is not where the money's made, it's with the games.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. One sec. A small correction I got to make. Boombox. PS1 was out in 1994. Yep. Yeah, that was because I got my first PlayStation in 1998. Good times. That took me back.
oh, nice. Yeah, that was the first game console I ever played with either. It was that, and then the original NES. That I
hmm
think it was my dad's when he was a kid.
Yeah. But
Or
as to your whole thing, but you're right. I can see this is just happening in the current gaming scene. You either want to do get a kiddie Nintendo game, or like play whatever you want on PlayStation, Xbox, or PC, or you take a third and fourth route, which is either A, get glued to your mobile phone, or B, enter the VR world.
That's the issue. See, a lot of the PC games are also moving to mobile, and
Mhm.
thanks to streaming options, you don't just have to stream it from say some company server, but you can set up Steam to just stream to your phone directly and play with that. If you've got a good enough upload rate with
Yeah.
your internet, you can actually just stream games over your phone and play them while you're out and about. I mean that, or you can get a Steam Deck. So
Yeah, we can get a Steam Deck
gaming's
and
gotten boring. Sorry,
right.
oh, what, like modern games overall?
the gaming industry itself has just gotten really boring.
Yeah, sadly. That's why I
Yeah,
have
like
hope for VR.
there's no like big budget over extravagant displays anymore. Everybody just does these things online now. Nintendo's doing these Nintendo Directs, Sony's doing the State of Play,
Mhm.
and Microsoft is doing their own thing.
I'll say this: at least if you want to build a game for the original Game Boy, you can, because people have been developing development tools to allow you to make your own games that you can then make your own cartridges, which you can also buy and assemble yourself or get done at a factory, and then you can sell them.
Whoa, that's pretty cool.
Yeah. I mean, to the point where it looks like a real cartridge.
Yeah, that's wild.
Hmm? Yeah. Now things has changed quite a good bit, and now the next closest thing, like to also bring up another point, the other closest thing we're gonna have with this embracing of streaming as well is like things like the Game Awards.
Oh yeah, well they're still gonna do that, right? I mean,
Yeah,
someone will.
yeah, of course, someone will. And yeah, really, at the end of the day, it's like something's just got to be shaken up again, and then we might, but nobody's just like the whole nature of those big name expos isn't worth it anymore.
So, did they make the announcement that they're just canceling it this year, or is it like a permanent they're done situation?
At this point, you know what, it's done.
Pretty
I
much,
think
right?
they never recovered from COVID, and like let's be real here, you know,
Hmm.
or should they actually caught up and adapted to things like the popularity of streaming?
Yeah, that too. A lot has changed very quickly in the gaming world. I mean, over the last
Like,
10 years at least.
yeah, and what with all the adaptations that technology has given them.
Hmm.
But hey, it ain't so bad though. I mean, we still have the schedule where everybody releases their trailers in June, all the big name stuff. So I guess we still have that to look forward to.
Yep.
But all up, it's yeah. Anyway, got a couple more other little titles as well. We've got through these next items. All right, now this is where this part is going to go a bit down the hill. Let's have a look at this. The Legend of Zelda. Link is a gay icon, and Zelda fans know it.
Oh, we do now.
Okay, how exactly is Zelda gay, and are you just ripping off Drawn Together?
So this thing, yeah, well, Link is apparently he's a gay icon, right? but the fans know
Apparently,
it, guys.
yeah, apparently we all know it because apparently the Legend of Zelda's beloved and iconic protagonist Link is tagged in more than 17,000 pieces of fan fiction on archive on our own.
Yes, we all know you've been to E621. Whoever wrote this article, okay.
No, it's
No,
not
no, no, no.
East
More like you've
one.
been on
It's
fanfiction.net.
Don't forget
Okay.
about yeah. Okay, so just because fans draw a character a particular way doesn't mean that that's what the character actually is. It's just their reimagining of it. The hell.
Well, well, it's fan fiction. That's the name. It's just, you know. So what if 17,000 pieces of
Yeah,
whatever you can find that about anything.
yeah. Like you could go to that into even other big name fan fiction communities, anime, My Little Pony, you name it. Please. Anyway, and apparently, and among the stories, these metrics are like more than 300 are tagged with trans Link, and nearly 2,000 feature Link in a romantic relationship with Ganondorf. Anyway, that's and apparently that makes it like now they know Link is a bit is
Because there's a lot of fan
little
fiction online. They're like, oh, of course, the fans knew it all along.
yeah.
Oh goodness. Nintendo. Oh, I love this. Nintendo has denied rumors that Link is queer in 2005 interview. Zelda
16.
producer Eiji, I think that's how you pronounce his name.
Yeah.
I said that Link is not gay. He's just an odd person. Okay, interesting. However, though he shut down speculation about Link's sexuality within the franchise canon, his statement also opened the door for further fan interpretation. Okay, Oddity has long-term has long-term been linked with queerness. Oh boy, even beyond the etymological connection. What are they trying to say? They're trying to make this sound like some revelation, like a scientific
They're trying
article.
to say like you're gay, you just don't know.
Oh,
You've
yeah.
always
Oh,
been gay, you just don't know it yet.
here we go. Exactly. Look, for decades, heteronormativity. Oh, and there's another buzzword for you. Has forced queer people to exist in the fringes of society. Yeah, and Link is a freaking elf who rescues the princess. Where the hell are they going with this? Because of fan fiction? What?
Because
Oh
the
boy.
developer just
Curious
says
to
he's
know.
odd.
I would be curious to know what percentage of actual fans, one, believe this, or two, sort of run with it.
I mean, there's a lot of writers out there, but yeah, like he's not gay. He's just an odd person. What? Okay.
Yeah, this is a whole drawn together thing because they got like a rip off of Link who turns out to be gay in the show, and it must be such a punching point for the actual community itself that everyone believes it, but reminds
See
me of
that
Luke.
that never crossed my mind to ever think that.
Wait, so Link's an elf, not a human, correct?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he's like some
Yeah.
type of elf.
Right. So you're taking your So elves are gay now, is that the thing?
Oh, no, there's always been a lot of jokes about that. Even in The Hobbit, they did that when the dwarf called him what is he, a pointy-eared fairy or something? Sorry, you woodland sprite. Yeah, that's always been like a joke. But are they taking this seriously? Like just because there happens to be a lot of interesting stories online that fans make up?
Wait, is this Polygon?
Yes.
Oh, for crying out loud.
I mean, of course, it's what you would expect from a rag like that, or even, what passes for game rags like them and Kotaku's. So, no surprise there. But the thing is, though, the Japanese, when it comes to that sort of design thing, they tend to go for more like eccentric, more whimsical elements like that,
Hmm.
And it's kind of
Okay.
weird, like when they did the whole, when they did the whole designing Link, he made it more like a gender neutral sort of character.
I mean, we all know he's a guy though,
Yeah,
because
we
like
all
that's
know.
how they refer to him. I mean,
Yeah.
yeah. And that was just like a design thing, but I don't really think this has more to do with their own personal fantasies. Like, look at this quote here. Back during the Ocarina of Time days, I wanted Link
That
to
was
be
that's
gender
what the
neutral.
developer says though.
Exactly, exactly. So they're just saying they wanted them to be gender neutral. So why are they making him gay? Just
Well,
why?
no. He
Why are they
hasn't been
saying that
gay
he
yet.
is?
Why do they wish he were gay, right?
Yeah, exactly. So the writer is using this guy's quote, the Ocarina of Time, saying that, well, that opens the door, gender neutrality and all that. I
Oh, oh, hang on. No, isn't that actually the wrong kind of behavior to pull by assuming somebody's gender and going with it and running with it? Sorry.
uh, I don't even know what the rules are anymore. Neither does anyone. Who knows at this point? But okay, so the designer said they wanted him to be more, androgynous looking. Okay, fine, whatever. He's an elf, and if they imagine that kids are playing this, so literally anyone of all ages can kind of relate to him. He doesn't look like a whatever. He's an elf. Okay, you're rescuing a princess. It's pretty simple.
I just find it rich that these people still keep saying that, the developer, even though he has stated Link is not gay, the developer has always been in denial about it.
Yeah, but this is what fan fiction is for. People can make up their own ideas or whatever. That's
Yeah.
what they do.
I
But that
guess.
doesn't mean that the developer is wrong. Is that what they're
No,
intending or implying,
no,
rather?
no. It's like he's smart. The person who wrote these things, he's like he knows better than the developer. Remember, he's
Yeah.
like, if the developer says Link is not gay, that should be a stingo. But now the writer is saying the developer is in denial about Link being gay.
Oh my lord! Oh, stop this.
Just let's just clear up something for a moment here. The developer of this game, is he Japanese or American?
Yeah, Japanese.
Yeah, he's Japanese.
The person writing this article, are they Japanese or are they an American?
I don't know. It's
Samantha
hard to.
Cook. Must be
So,
like a friggin'
Miss,
degenerate Western trash.
well,
Has
Miss
Okay,
to be.
Puke over here. I
so
don't know what that name is.
you're taking a person's creation from a completely different society and you're trying to incorporate it into your own. The fuck is wrong with you?
Yeah, shame.
Yeah,
I think
I've watched stories from foreign countries before, and you try to understand what the whole trope is about this character or the myth, and
mhm.
you try to draw back from there and then make links in your own. Oh, you must be gay. It's like,
You know,
what the fuck's wrong with you?
I wonder if this is a case of like what happened to Dumbledore, because Dumbledore was never gay to begin with, but then after I don't know. I think something changed, and then J.K. Rowling just decided to make him gay to appease the fans, because everyone had so much like fan fiction about it. That might have happened. I don't know. That's just a crazy conspiracy theory I have, but it's plausible. But I don't think they're actually going to make Link gay. So help me God, if like the next game comes out and like, no, no, I can't even imagine. Stop.
I'm guessing you just yeet it right out of there then.
Oh my goodness, it would. They're like, well, the fans knew it all along, guys. Come on.
Yeah, at the end of the day, these people were basically reading too much into Breath of the Wild, and that's when they might come to that conclusion, and all that stuff. Oh, Link must be gay.
This is just
Now,
so damn silly.
now, live comment here, Emerson Colley. Just watch, they will soon make Zelda a trans male named Zack.
Oh.
Wait, they're going to change Link's species?
He's trans elf or something. Jeez. No. Well, they did kind of hint at that because they said in the article, with the 17,000 other stories, that there was like 300 that were tagged as that.
It's
Oh boy.
trans Link.
Oh my goodness. All because the producer said we just want him to be androgynous. Oh, they took it too far.
Well, that's kind of thing because they're hyping up on another game. to move on from this, they're hyping up on another Nintendo Legend of Zelda game, Tears of the Kingdom.
I really do hope they make a reference to Robin Williams in that.
Oh, and they're already trying to jinx it though. Get this. This is what they're trying to. These people are trying to jinx the article with the whole Legend of Zelda with is Link gets to continue his journey, during which he's seemingly become more identifiably queer. His hair is
Oh.
different and almost resembles a mullet, which is a style that has become synonymous with queerness.
Huh?
Wait, is this American mullet or is this an Australian mullet?
Whatever it is, it does.
Link, it's just he's grown his hair out.
Yeah,
Oh.
but over time hair grows.
Like,
So.
They're
what about-
appropriating a hairstyle now. Come on now.
What do we know about Link's particular race out of curiosity? Have we seen any adult elves in the series?
Yeah, the old man that gives you the Master Sword and stuff like that.
Does he have a long hair? Because I've never played the game.
Oh, I don't know. I don't remember. I haven't played the games in 15 years. But whatever, he's an elf. He's supposed to be like a young-ish elf. I'm guessing like a teenager. Maybe he's like 18 or something. He's like a young elf and whatnot. I guess elves are more androgynous, maybe, but whatever. I mean, I don't really get what they're. How I hate. See, this is why I don't like going over these articles. I lose brain cells.
Me too, but but it's just you can't. Sometimes you cannot help but just laugh at the ridiculousness of it all. That's why I do things like these.
Yeah, I don't think that if like the majority of fans were polled, they would just be confused. They'd be like, "Huh? What? I never even thought about that." And I guarantee you that there's more fan fiction of like Link and the princess than anything else. Probably.
Yeah.
It's probably just a lot more fan fiction about that, but whatever. We don't talk about that probably.
Yeah, they don't want to talk about that. They'd rather have their Link and thing of fantasy.
Yeah, it's
Anyway.
interesting. They didn't even bring that up, which is kind of weird. Okay.
Yeah, well, that's just a fantasy at the end of the day. Their fantasy, but it's ultimately fan fiction.
Yeah.
All right, one last item for this week, and it's one before I do that though. Live comment, Emerson Colley. They are all elves actually. Even Zelda is one. Yeah, Zelda is one. It's all in the ears.
Exactly. Yeah, pointy-eared woodland sprite. I love that quote, man.
All right, one last article, and it's the one we've kind of always been one. That's. You just have to because it's been on the cycle everywhere now. The past couple of days. Yes, I'm talking about that.
Yes, another day, another school shooting in the United States. Whenever something like this happens, which they are rare, of course, it always gets sensationalized, politicized, and everyone talks about it like for a month until people demand new laws. That's pretty much just how it goes here.
Yeah, the cycle just must be maintained.
Don't forget, there's also the screaming of the person being hateful, the person being racist, the person being misogynist, the person being
Of
blah,
course.
blah, blah.
No, but now this particular shooting, it's a bit different now. You know why? It's the evil Christians that caused the person to go on a mass shooting.
So this unfortunate event, yeah, as we all know, is a person went into a school, killed 3 kids and 3 adults. They were 9-year-old children.
At the what's it called? Nashville Catholic Christian school in Nashville.
Mm-hmm. So this person was a former student. They were 28 years old, and she identifies as a guy, and that's the whole big I don't know thing about this. This person is trans, and there was a lot of backlash online. I'm sure you guys have seen some of these. That there were people almost like defending this person, saying, "Well, you didn't use the correct pronouns. Shame on you, CNN. 2 tragedies have occurred here." It was some really sick stuff they were saying about this.
The thing that really bothers me, though, is that no one seems to care about the fact that this idiot went ahead and shot and killed a black man. at the school. I mean, is it like the principal or teacher or something? Then nothing's being said about that.
I mean, it wasn't. Yeah, I guess it was a hate crime regardless, because this wasn't. I don't really know all the details. Obviously, none of us really do. But some of the stuff that has been made public that we've seen on YouTube is that this is a targeted attack. Like, this person planned this, specifically to hurt, people of a particular faith, which they thought was oppressing them. And now
Yeah.
people are saying that this is that she was a victim.
Yeah, and there was also
oppressed.
the thing. They were saying that her evil Christian parents rejected her.
I personally would like to see what links there are between the school shooting that occurred by a transgender student at the time and this one. Because it sounds like both occurred because of mental health issues.
Yes, yeah, this person was clearly disturbed. It seems like in more ways than one. It's just a tragedy that I mean, 3 kids died, man. What the hell? That's terrible.
The important thing now is to figure out exactly why this person went out and did this, and simply showboating around and saying, "Oh well, it's this, that, and everything else."
Now, here's the thing. All we need is pretty much a manifesto that's been found out, but now the police and all that are not releasing it because they've been threatened about it. Like, if they do release it, there will be massive repercussions to the police by the LGBT, the Rainbow Mafia.
That's the term.
What's really creepy is there was a trans day of vengeance planned, like, right after this, and people were calling for more trans people to literally fight. I'm not even exaggerating. Like, there were like blue checkmark people talking about this.
Isn't that
what is that supposed to mean? A trans day of vengeance? That is some scary crap. Like, what the heck?
Oh, you know what? The funny fact about this is, it was actually scheduled for April Fool's Day. Just putting it out there.
No.
I really hope that it was but it wasn't a troll though. Like, this was actually a thing people wanted to do. But that's just sick, man. I bet you people were actually going to want to do this. It's been all over Twitter.
And this is where a lot of people miss out on, is this is the kind of thing that not actual Nazis, modern day Nazis, call for: more violence. So I'm having a hard time understanding why people who are so anti-Nazi are applying Nazi ideologies and tactics and ideals and pushing them forward as their own.
It's basically hypocrisy and projection.
There's no way to spin this narrative. Typically what they do is whenever there's a shooting, they always blame it on the person being a racist or something. They'll bring up Christchurch. Oh, he hated Muslims. That's why he was a radical, right-wing, whatever. But this person was the complete opposite of that. She was one of them, I guess, but like radicalized to such a crazy point that she decided to go up and kill people. And they're not talking about that at all. They don't what about the families? Parents had to bury their kids, man. It's crazy. And now they're not even talking about more gun control, more anything. Like, actually, I think they're going to try to bury this story in the memory hole.
What really disturbs me about this whole thing is that when people were talking about this on TikTok, the videos weren't focusing on the children. They were just saying, "Oh yes, kids died," and they just pushed it aside like it meant nothing. That's the thing that disturbs me the most here.
Yeah, because they're more concerned about their fifis.
What about the kids that were injured, not to mention mentally scarred for the rest of their lives because some idiot thought the best way to handle the situation was to go out and kill a bunch of kids?
Can't even imagine. They were 9-year-old.
Yeah.
It's crazy. Like, to the point, some of these people get to, and there were probably red flags, probably before this. I mean, if the person wrote an entire manifesto and the police are too afraid to even make it public, I mean, something's up.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised if they're getting told not to simply because the individual identifies as a trans person.
Yeah, they want to keep a thing of like Chinese can all be friggin' all pure and thing of only truth.
I bet it has. It's probably all about down with the patriarchy, communism, gung ho. Who knows what the hell? It could be all kinds of bonkers nonsense.
What, the re-racism? Well, you just
no. What this person's manifesto that the police are too afraid to like make public, because it's probably all like these communist ramblings.
That's what I'm referring to.
Yeah, exactly.
it'll be a matter of time. It'll come out.
The biggest thing that concerns me about the LGBTQIM plus community is that they're not willing to turn around and say that violence is unacceptable. The behavior of this person, despite the fact that they're in their little clip, was unacceptable and shouldn't go. And you shouldn't do this. But no, they not only do they seem to be giving a forgiving pass on it, but seem to be they're actively encouraging it by calling for more. Just why?
Yeah, like remember, like one of the staffers says, I will kill every single transphobe.
Yeah. I mean, people just openly say that all over the time. Like I've seen this stuff on Twitter like every day. It's pretty shocking. But like that's normal behavior for them. Like these radical people are that's it. They're just radicals, man.
In Australia, if you were to say you were going to kill somebody, that's enough to get you into trouble, whether it's unjust or not.
Oh, same. Same here in America. If you make a death threat, I mean, yeah, that's illegal.
Now, to shift this to something a bit more lighthearted, now the shooter, Aiden Hale's pronouns are officially was/were.
What the
Wow. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, whatever they identified as doesn't matter now. Oh, geez.
Oh, Joel, that is just downright wrong. I'm sorry, but that is downright.
Hey, you know what? This person was a monster. Fuck him.
Oh, man, what is wrong with you?
I just say it like it is. Now, to continue on this whole lighthearted thing, this is a picture of the bedroom. I was sent this. Like, what do you make of this, Ifira?
Okay, this is a photograph of this individual's bedroom, the shooter. Her name was Audrey, I think, or Audale or something like that. Something Haley. This is a picture of the room she lived in. You have the NATO flag, the bisexual flag, the regular rainbow flag, a bunch of anime stuff. It looks like the room of your typical furry or brony, to be honest. It's rather messy.
Trans flag too.
Yep.
I think the only thing that would be missing and completing this environment would be a flag of Ukraine.
Oh yeah. I'm sorry. I also forgot to mention the socialist flag next to the trans flag as well.
But I think the flag of NATO would basically tells you everything you need to know. Like Russia man bad. Ukraine uber alles.
I used to know someone who lived like that. It smelled rotten in there.
Oh, it looks like there's trash all over the floor. Yeah, it looks pretty damn nasty.
Probably not. I mean, yeah, there might be some rubbish in amongst there, but they might also just be like general goods, because I used to know an individual whose floor was just littered with cards in bags and boxes. This was Magic the Gathering, by the way.
Ah, yes, of course. Okay.
But this idiot at least had like a path to his bed.
Yeah, that's true. But I'm just concerned because when this is the bedroom of the shooter, who, as we all know, identifies as trans and targeted Christians specifically, you look at the kind of stuff they surround themselves with. Living in filth. All these different flags of of radical ideologies. I mean, you got socialism, the trans flag, all this stuff is surrounding them every single day as they live. And this is their life.
Mm-hmm.
It's not surprising that someone who lives like this might just go crazy one day and just go off the edge. And that seems to be the case of what happened. Gosh, wow. And there are some rumors circulating that this person might have had an FA account, which is since been taken down due to a lot of backlash and stuff. But it was created in 2018.
I have the archives here.
All right, so we don't know if this person was actually a furry or a brony, but it appears that they might have been.
Okay, not safe for work warning. Sorry, you've been warned. This is and now our show is officially tagged as not safe.
Oh
Joel,
goodness!
Well, I'm to that later on. Oof.
Yes, but
well, I guess there was into other stuff as well. But yes, basically their page had a lot of like horse and pony related artwork, and the name was the same name as a person in real life, so maybe a coincidence. But judging by the way their room looks, it would not surprise me at all. I don't know. It's It's a weird situation.
The comments section, however, is an absolute gold mine. Like
Oh, it is.
posthumously.
Yeah, because once people found out this person's name, I think it was like what, Audrey Hale or something, Holly, whatever. Yeah, they looked her up and found her FA, and it started spreading all over the place. Everyone was commenting like pretty crazy stuff. And again, I don't know if it was actually that person's real account. I mean, it might have just been a coincidence, but it is very weird. And the fact that it was just taken down recently, I don't know what to make of that. It's just a weird layer of icing on the crazy cake.
Something I wanted to bring up, but if this individual had issues with government laws that were being brought in, why didn't they go and do a school shooting, do a shooting at, say, like the politician's office, or where the pollies meet up in America to turn around in the state to do their business? Why didn't that place get targeted instead of the school? Because if this
Probably,
was about the laws that were introduced, why target a school? Why not just go after a government building
I
where they all
think for
work at?
the person must have known that the school would have less security.
I got to believe that it has to do something with what happened at the school, and hence the reason why it was specifically targeted. I'd like to find out the locations that were also planned, and I would like to see the full manifesto published, despite me probably just wanting to then get up and just walk away.
well, the reason one of the targets was a school is because not only a little security, but it's also against Catholicism, anti-Christian. That was like what one of the aspects of this. This person specifically was targeting Christians because their trans identity or something was being oppressed and whatnot.
I think Tucker Carlson, I don't always agree with him, but he does say it right. It's like trans people basically think they are gods themselves and they have transcended nature, and they don't want to be reminded that there is a higher power above them.
I don't know.
That's like,
This person was just delusional, and it's so unfortunate that people actually were hurt and died. I mean, jeez.
Vera, I think delusional is insulting to people who are delusional.
Yeah, evil.
In
I mean,
this case.
evil. That's it.
yes. One last comment. Emerson Colley. I guess for convention shootings are next.
I mean, well, that's actually interesting. We didn't get to talk about this, but I don't know. I think that's a good segue to briefly bring that up because there was a bomb threat recently at what was it, Motor City FurCon? It was on Friday. This was on Twitter for a while. I think around noon it happened. They were evacuated the building and they came back at 4 p.m. and it was no big deal. But that was one of the first, crazy things that happened at the convention. That it was literally a bomb threat and they had to evacuate. So it's kind of like when fire drills are pulled. It seemed like that kind of situation. But no,
Yeah.
I hope that's not next. Oh, yeah, jeez.
To
Can
top
you
it all off,
imagine?
maybe Furries will inflict mass shootings though. If somebody, I'm not saying there's a connection or something, but it may be
I mean,
if
this
having a
person.
furry art account may make you a mass shooter, then
No, it's just like this person might have actually been either a furry or a brony. Probably a brony, but like, look at the room that they lived in. Again, surrounding themselves with all those flags and whatnot. It's like, okay, cool. You can decorate your room however you want, but like, it
yeah.
it all kind of connects too well together, you know. And it's sad. It's sad that it came to this. That someone was that brainwashed that they became, this evil person. I mean, what were they trying to accomplish? I mean, they were 28 years old. Now they're dead, and parents had to bury their kids. Like, what was the point of all that? Who benefited?
The
No
other thing
one.
you should ask is the three adults who were killed. I mean, did they have families? Did they have kids?
Oh, I'm sure they did. Yeah, devastating.
Mhm.
So I
Yeah,
don't know what the answer to this is. I mean, more security at schools, possibly.
a lot. Yes, absolutely. More security at schools, but among other things, I know right now, America and by extension, a lot of other countries, there's like a big spiritual and mental rot That's also happening. That needs to be gone, purged out.
Uh, it's
Otherwise, we wouldn't be in this mess. So yes, we need. Yeah, I mean, armed guards at schools, yes, but cleaning the spiritual moral rot in the soul of
and
the country, yes. That you can't forget that dimension too.
yeah, that's
I
part
was
of the
going to
reason why they attacked.
if you think that you're in the moral high ground and yet your answer or you believe it's acceptable or the answer to your problem is to go and kill a bunch of people, maybe you should go check on history to see how that went for certain individuals.
Yeah, this person was clearly evil and deranged. I think it's very interesting, though, that the person actually wrote a manifesto. Why is it that killers do this? Like mass shooters, at least some of them have done this, and they're like very detailed and like they get very philosophical and delusional and weird.
Well,
Like,
psychologically, as I understand it, Joel, an individual is not accidentally going to make themselves famous. They're doing something that will.
Hmm.
And this is something that they are fully aware of. Whether they're in a psychosis thinking that it's the right thing, or if there's something mentally wrong with them or physically wrong with them that's driving, the driving force to this. So knowing that this is going to happen, knowing that they won't have a chance to make a speech, they prepare, someone may even spend a year just writing this out to figure out the best thing to say to explain why they're doing this and for everyone to be able to pay attention.
yeah, that's a good point. But just wow, that's really sick, man. But yeah, that's a very good point. I guess like if they're planning it, that's all they're thinking about this whole time. I
Hmm.
mean, who knows how long this person felt like this?
Yeah. Anyway, I believe that's about all. We've reached the end of the show. That's all the time we've got for this week. Things
Yes.
things are insane now. So who
Mm.
would like to make a closing statement?
Daisies, not bullets. And that's what I'm going to end mine at.
Right on. Yeah, sorry to end on such a sad note, guys. That was an event no one could have predicted. Well, I don't know, maybe, but
Now, granted,
regardless, it was horrible. But
had this,
I just as a closing statement, man, I'm more, I'm trying to be more hopeful, yeah, for the future. I think Lackadaisy is looking pretty damn good, man. So I'm looking forward to
I
that.
know, like had this person not had their eccentric interests being revealed to the public, then
Yeah, then we wouldn't be talking about this otherwise, because it's just another day, another shooting, right? It sucks, but yeah, I mean, God rest those kids
yeah,
and the victims and their families.
Amen.
Amen.
amen. All right, now thank you for all those who tuned in, got to the end. Hopefully that wasn't enough. You weren't so shocked or traumatized by it. We try not to, but it's never our intent. Hope you enjoyed this as much as we did making this. As always, our episodes are available on Podbean, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Stitcher, Play.fm, iHeartRadio, BitChute, and more further down the line. This is us signing off for the week. Farewell, and until next time.
Later.
Bye.